you obviously love TJ's talent, and he started out games really well, and it seems like maybe a second or third time through the order, things have kind of gone a little awry for him. What are you seeing out of his outings?
I think I should have left him in the game based on how the rest of the game played out. And so I'll take responsibility for that. There'll be some things relative to learning. He's a great competitor. And so sometimes he'll try to maybe try harder when he gets some adversity. That would be my first answer, as opposed to just staying with the plan. So we'll work on that and talk about that. He's a 4.0 student, incredibly intelligent. So I know he understands that concept, and I think he'll apply that better moving forward.
How's it going, Coach? The team was down big in different points in this game. However, you guys didn't go down without a fight, and the team combined for 9 runs in the last 4 innings of the game. What does this say about the team's character and resiliency?
I think it's a positive. I've mentioned before, I don't think we're ever out of any game, and just think about the last out that was made right there. That ball was scorched by Brandon. I'm going to flip it a different way and say we were probably 3 to 4 at bats earlier in the game away from one of two things, really separating and busting the game open and maybe making it a little more difficult on Oregon. So we want to be better there, or assuming everything stayed the same, those same 3 or 4 at bats, there would have been a lot of heat on them in the 9th inning relative to what the score was.
So even though you lost today, you did win the series. What's your overall takeaway on this weekend?
That the win the series thing's hard for me, just from a every game counts, kind of thing. So I'll kind of itemize it. And I thought Chase was terrific on Friday, and gave us an outing that we really needed. Those guys out of the bullpen did a great job. I thought yesterday was one of the best played games of the year. I would have liked to have, been more complete team today and finish that off. I think it was a missed opportunity. But I'm now focused on the next 3 days in our preparation for Arizona State.
I know every game, every weekend is a chance to kind of evaluate your team. What more do you know about your guys, whether it's just from today or this weekend, than you did maybe last week?
It's a great question, Matt. I get kind of so immersed in the moment on game day that's what I'm thinking about. I think big picture wise, I'm pleased that some of our depth showed this weekend, with Tanner Otremba and Nick McCleary. Thought those guys played great for us and really lifted us offensively and defensively. So I learned more about the depth on that side of it. There's a few on the pitching side of it that we really need to get an action plan itemized for them for improvement. And that's really going to be a point of emphasis over the next couple days. I really want them to look at, and we're going to evaluate this game and then come out of it with, here's what we need to do to be prepared and whatnot. And I'm looking forward to Coach Yeski getting to work with a couple of those guys this week. And I think you'll see a better effort next weekend. But, again, it's interesting because I thought for the UCLA series, for the first 20, 21 innings, we pitched extremely well. And that was much of the same this weekend. And I think the thing I'm looking at is the guys that pitched the back end of both Sunday games they're plenty capable. I mean, there's plenty of velocity, there's plenty of breaking ball, and there's plenty of strikes. So we need to get them back in tune with being the best version of themselves. So we're going to put a lot of work forward on that. So I would say those two things kind of stand out.
Hey there, Daniel. As the game is kind of shifting there in the 4th inning, what are some of the conversations that are going on between you and TJ, or coaches and TJ? How did you guys kind of try to keep it all together there?
Yeah, so the main focus with the players and even the coaches as well is one pitch at a time, especially with our offense, knowing that we can always kind of provide a spark, is just to keep going, keep battling, and just take everything one pitch at a time.
Sure, TJ really well. Jay said that sometimes maybe in a situation like that, he's so competitive that maybe he tries harder and maybe tries to do too much. Do you notice that a little bit from him sometimes?
Maybe. He's just a really competitive person, but I have no doubt that next start he'll be right back to shoving it again. And I have all faith in him that that's just a miscue one time and he'll be right back to normal again.
Sure. When you're the catcher and the other team scores 18 runs, do you put a lot of the blame on yourself?
I do. I take some of it. I take almost all of it, especially as I need to basically have that trust in my pitchers, knowing that they can throw their best pitch and I'll be able to pick it up for them. Especially with blocking, didn't do my best today, and I need to get better at that. Especially letting our pitchers know that they can spike one in the dirt, and I'll be there for them.
Or is it hard when you lose a game like this to keep in mind that you guys did win the series?
It is a little bit. It definitely stings being the last game, especially knowing, we could have maybe swept. But we just got to focus on the next thing, focus on next week, and just get past it.
Now that you guys have had a chance to go through a couple Pac-12 series against some pretty good teams, what have you maybe picked up about just the difference in play from now that you guys are in Pac-12 play?
The main thing I've noticed with Pac-12 play is the game is not over till it's over. Especially today, I think they were up 7 in the 8th and still doing fake steals, fake bunts, because with our offense, anything can happen, and it's always a tight game in the Pac-12. All 9 innings, everybody's battling. The first is always the same as the last, and that's just the main thing I've taken away is it's just never over till it's over.
Sure. How much are you looking forward to facing Arizona State for the first time?
It's a big series. Obviously, I haven't really been introduced to the rivalry, but I've heard a lot about it, and excited to go up there.